You and your friends head out on a dangerous mission where you'll encounter goblins, orcs, and maybe even the voice of Dan Hughes? Today, we're taking a look at CoraQuest. I'm so excited to give you a preview of a wonderful new game launching on Kickstarter from the creative minds of Dan and Cora Hughes. What started as a school project during lockdown in the UK has turned into a full-on gaming experience. You may be asking yourself if this game's for you. You've looked at some of the campaign and it seems like maybe it's just for kids. So now hang on. Let's be honest. Kids games have come a long way. And there are some really fun ones now. I'm looking at you, Rhino Hero. So aside from all that, I am here to tell you that CoraQuest is a game us grown-ups are going to enjoy too. You can absolutely play this game and enjoy it with or without kids. One of the coolest things that CoraQuest offers from other dungeon crawlers that you may have played is customization. And that can change the way that this game becomes a fit for you or your family. So from stories to characters to enemies, you can have some control here. So let's hit the stretch goals, right? This way, you can make those baddies as hard to defeat as you want. But Dan and Cora have already done a pretty good job of this already. The scenarios that we played were not just a breeze to complete. It came down to the last few turns for us to even pull off a win. So my best advice is to give it a try and then just see how you can customize it and see how it fits. There's very few of you out there who aren't the tiniest bit interested in creating your own character. Go ahead. Try to prove me wrong. Oh, wait. Go ahead. Leave those comments right down there below. Most of you are intrigued by this, right? Why? Because it's flippin' cool. Not very often do I get to put me or my family in a game that I'm playing. And I think we waited all of about 35 minutes, maybe seconds, before we created this. Waffles, our corgi, making her board game debut. She can't move very fast, but she's got some throwing knives. And her special ability is going to help kind of herd some people around. And yeah, I have 100% used her in some of our playthroughs. I don't care how old you are, this is fun! So let me touch on the gameplay. It's easy to pick up and explain, but it does leave you with good choices as you're moving through the dungeon. The tiles are mixed up each game, with the story tiles being randomly added into each stack. And that results in your dungeon layout being a little different each time. So on each turn, players can take 2 actions, either move or attack. It's super easy to remember. And there are some free actions that you can take too. The main one being explore, because how else are you going to get around this dungeon? But you better be at the ready in case those orcs and goblins are waiting on that next tile to attack. The icons make it super easy to know which type of enemy spawns on each tile. And that also helps make this game more accessible to players. If you're lucky, you might find one of these treasure chests too. It could have healing potions, maybe even better weapons or equipment inside. There are a ton of these treasure cards just in the promo game that we received, and so you never know what you're going to find. Now, when you do encounter enemies, it's time to fight. Each player has a weapon and a special ability that'll come into play. So the weapon cards are going to show you your range and then which dice that you're able to roll. The better weapons you find in the dungeon, the more dice you're going to get to roll. We've got movement speed here in the boots and health right here in the heart. Now, if you're like me, you may have what some would call a special relationship with dice. Okay, let's just be honest, dice hate me. So, if you're like me, then you'll love this next option. If you roll the dice on your turn and completely whiff on your attack, see? All blanks. Story of my life. Then you can flip your hero card to the determined side and gain an extra die on your next attack roll. And then once you actually do score a hit, you just flip it back over to its regular side. We felt like this gave the game some balance, and it gave us a fighting chance against the enemies when dice just aren't going your way. So any special abilities that the characters have do have a cooldown period before they can be used again. And you'll also notice this little spider token. Each round you don't explore moves the spider down the track. And then once those spiders trigger, you better be ready because they are super fast. Spiders will spawn in the center of any dungeon tile with spider webs on it, and then they're coming your way. Now that I've got your attention on these tiles, check out this art. It looks like there's light on this tile. We're not lighting it differently, that's the graphic. There are such cool little details worked in. Gary King has made some of my favorite dungeon tiles ever for this game. Now, I'm a huge fan of this art. One thing to note, all of the character and enemy art was actually submitted by kids from around the world. Gary added some coloring, a little shading, and voila. This is another way that CoraQuest really sets itself apart from other games, and we just absolutely love it. It's obvious that this has been a labor of love started by a father-daughter duo, and it's spread into its own community. And at the end of the day, it's just something that we want to be a part of. So we hope that you'll give CoraQuest a try and make it your own. That does it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up or even subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out. Keep gaming, friends. We hope to see you real soon.